Hello, and I hope you're having a great day. Today I am making 3 different vegetable-based appetizers. I figure for a lot of get-togethers around the holidays and even throughout the year, we tend to have a lot of heavier appetizers. And so I've been playing around with a couple of different options that add a little bit more vegetable. You can kind of bulk up a little bit with some of the lighter vegetable appetizers and still enjoy the other ones as well. But my name's Rachel, and I like to bring videos about cooking, baking, some gardening, stuff around the house, and just general lifestyle. So please like and subscribe. All right, so I'm going to start with, these are all incredibly easy appetizers as well. So I already started the first one, which are the cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's. So those I'll show in a minute what I did, but basically just roll them in some olive oil for that's what I always have on hand. Pop them in the air fryer for about 15 to 20 minutes. I like to make them a little extra crispy to have them as an appetizer, and they're good to go. I sprinkle a little bit of parsley on top just to make it look nice from a serving perspective. All right, so the next one, I'm doing a half a cup because I'm just doing a small amount, but you can make this larger, smaller, adjust it to your liking. I would say if you're having a very large get together, I would do at least a cup. Now, don't turn your nose up at this until you try it. I've had a few people be very surprised at the fact that they like this, just knowing, and they didn't know that it was mayonnaise. Once I told them it was mayonnaise, they were very surprised because once it's done, I would say that you wouldn't really be able to pick up on the mayonnaise aspect. It's just a very rich, flavorful dip. And this one is for green beans, so I blanched some green beans. I would say it would probably also be good with blanched asparagus, maybe some broccoli, cauliflower, maybe cauliflower over broccoli. I would say any really lightly flavored vegetable. I probably wouldn't do this with like carrots and things like that. I'm not going to measure, but I have before. So I would say to go for about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. Adjust to your liking. If you like a stronger, more vinegary bite, go with that. If you like a little less vinegar, put less vinegar. The good thing is you can just taste and adjust as you go. The grinder was empty, but now we're good. I'm just gonna do a couple, I would say, I don't know, 1/8 of a teaspoon. I really wouldn't put too much. You don't want this to be too pepper forward, unless you do want it to be pepper forward. You can really kind of do whatever you want with this. I put 1 garlic clove, and I didn't actually squeeze it the whole way because garlic, especially when raw, can be pretty spicy. It will mellow out just as this sits. So this is something you can mix it up on the fly and it'll taste great, but definitely something that if you can mix it up a little bit ahead of time, it would be even better. So there we go. That's done. Let me just taste it. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more garlic. Maybe I did squeeze all of that out. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm going to do the other half clove. This particular one isn't too strong, and that really didn't put a whole lot. So also this garlic press I got off of Amazon. I love it. It pushes out almost every little bit of garlic that's in there, and it makes it just a nice, consistent, fine mince. All right, I think that will do it. Where did I? Oh, it's right here. So there's one done. And as I said, I already blanched the green beans. That's something you can do, let's say even up to a day or 2 ahead of time and just keep them in the fridge. Try to dry them out a good bit. You don't want them sitting in too much water or they will go bad a little bit quicker while you're waiting. So let me put this one away. Like that. All right, so we have that. It's using the cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's. And you can hear in the background, I have my air fryer going. Just toss it in some olive oil, throw it in the air fryer, and it's done. There's nothing more to do. I do sprinkle a little bit of salt on at the end just so that they taste good on their own. But this is something that you can just pick up and eat one by one, or you can put a little set of toothpicks to the side if you want to make it fancy. But kids and adults, both in our house, love this one. What I love about this is the rival air fryer. We upgraded, in my opinion, from the Cuisinart. to the Breville, but I'm still getting to know the Breville a little bit. We've only had it for a couple of weeks. Just gonna toss it in there. I love that it comes out enough and it's stable enough that I can put the food in without having to take it out altogether. And then I'm just following there's instructions on the back for pan frying, air frying, boiling, and microwave. So calls for 13 to 15 minutes, so I set it for 15 minutes. I will partway through, maybe once or twice, mix them up a little bit and break up some of those clumps that were so clumped together. The next one, I'm going to prep the vegetables for, and then I'll make the dip. So the next one is a dip. It's an onion soup dip that traditionally, at least for me growing up, was always eaten with potato chips. And I started eating it this year with vegetables, and I actually almost prefer it to the potato chips, believe it or not. I find with potato chips, the flavor is just a little bit too strong, and I don't really enjoy it as much. But this way, I've really found that I like the flavor, the balance. And I'll still, to the side, I'll still put a small bowl of chips for someone who wants chips, or maybe you just want that salty crunch as well. Normally I use the Persian, like the Persian cucumbers that are about that big, but I ran out, and I've actually had a hard time with them getting really slimy on me. So I need to look up, or if anyone has any recommendations. I get them in whatever packaging and I put them right in the fridge, but I don't know if I should be putting paper towel in there. Like maybe there's just too much moisture. I don't know. I want to figure out, because if I don't eat them within that first 5 days or so, they get slimy. And I mean, I like to have stuff like that on hand, but I don't like buying it and feeling pressured to use it so quickly. So I am cutting these on the bias, meaning I'm cutting them kind of sideways like that, because that leaves you a little bit of a bigger chip. Honestly, with these, with the last few of these, I'm going to cut them differently, because these are so small that might actually be a little bit small. I mean, for me, it's a good size, but for company, they might not want to have to stick their fingers so close. So maybe I'll do, because these are so small, I'm just going to cut them into quarters lengthwise. So when you dip in here, I mean, my company is going to be like, what were you doing? These bigger ones, I'm going to do that. These smaller ones, so the bigger one I cut into quarters. The smaller ones I'm just going to leave in half, because even this one I would say is a little bit flimsy to have to like dip with. Yeah, they're going to come be like, what were you doing with all those different cuts? But that's okay. So that one I'll leave in half. All right, so I have that. Put this to the side. Now this dip, you can make it with, I think it's a 12-ounce container of sour cream. That's the traditional one, at least the one I always grew up making it with. I'm pretty sure, 16 ounce, sorry, a 16-ounce container of sour cream. So that's what the original recipe calls for. But I have made somewhat of a Greek yogurt style yogurt. I just took some of my homemade yogurt and I put it over a strainer, and you'll see all that liquid came out. So I'm going to use this in place of the sour cream. Now I would recommend testing something like this out to see if it's a flavor combination that you like, if you're not as familiar with it. The sour cream, I would say, is more tried and tested, tried and true. But this one I do think would make a much healthier dip. So depending on what you're going for. And honestly, I probably could let that sour cream sit even more, yogurt sit even more, but I really wanted to get this done. And for something like this, I would just pick up, I mean, I wouldn't sit and make your own. It's just, that's what I had on hand. But I would pick up like a Fahe. I would do a full fat Greek yogurt. So let me just taste that. It's good. I'm just gonna let that sit, and I'll stir it again in a little bit just to make sure it's really well incorporated. So I already have my 2 dips and vegetables. I have the gnocchi. The last thing I'm gonna do is throw together a really quick cocktail. This is just something that I kind of whipped up on the fly. Well, I'm whipping it up I'm kind of going, I'm making it up as I go a little bit. So I took cranberries. I took, this is not all of it, but I took 2 cups, really almost 3 cups. I just kind of dumped it in there, cranberries, and I put it in our high-speed blender with a cup of sugar and a cup of water. And I let that blend down, and then I ran it through that same strainer. And so I was left with, again, this is just some of it, but a really smooth pulp kind of filling. I ran it enough that there's really no chunky seeds left. And then I have somewhat of a concentrate. So I'm going to use this as a flavoring, a simple syrup-esque, but more of like a soda concentrate, a cranberry soda concentrate. So the first thing I'm going to do, get some juice from a lemon. I am going to put in a little bit of this just to boost the richness of the drink. Probably going to put in, let's say 3. This is like the serving teaspoon of the cranberry. 1 of the lemon juice, because the cranberry, it's pretty sweet and has the bitterness of cranberry and a little bit of sourness, but not quite as sour as what I was looking for. Okay, so this I just added soda water. You could use champagne instead of the soda water and kind of have a very different take on a Bellini type drink, or you could add a shot of vodka to this to make it alcoholic, but as it stands, it's non-alcoholic. So it's something I like to make drinks like this, sometimes just for me to drink, but also for my kids. So I have a couple of whole cranberries. The good thing is they'll float in the drink. So if you do use a straw, they won't get in the way of your straw. I think just putting that 1 lemon slice in there. And then I'm going to use, let me get a bit of rosemary. I think it's a little too long. A little bit of rosemary in there to make it look festive. Also, I think rosemary and cranberry go well together. But there you go. It's a beautiful holiday, festive kind of colored drink. And let's see. That tastes good. Again, it's not strongly flavored of cranberry. It's not like buying a cranberry cocktail. It's a much more mellow flavor, especially with the balance of the lemon juice. But you could definitely make it a little bit sweeter by adding a little bit more sugar to your cranberry mix. It's really something that you can tailor. You could put this stuff out and people could make their own drinks, and you could kind of have it as a fun thing that people can participate in. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Check out my channel for more videos. I'll put a few in the end card that come up, and take care.